Hi, it's vapulaadrem. Today I wanted to talk about life. I guess you can call it that way. In recent year, I have changed a lot of things in my life, and by doing so, I'm enjoying it every bit more each day. And you may ask, how is that? And you may not ask because you don't care, and I get it. But I have realized something, and I think it's worth showing to not only me, but you as well. I think it should be brought up in your life at least once, like that bigger picture of life, like that big time frame from your birth to your death. I'm not saying it will have the same impact on everybody like it had on me. It made me think a lot and take action, but I hope you will find it at least interesting. And what is that thought that caught me? I was walking down the street and I saw an old man with his granddaughter, and immediately it raised two questions in my head. Like, I looked at the old man and asked myself, how long do we actually have? And I looked down on the little girl and asked myself another question. How much do we actually have out of it? Average lifespan is about 72 years. That's a lot, right? But is it really? And why do we need this average? Well, you can already guess by looking at the title of this video, but I have my monologue, my script, and I would really like if you will go along with me. Today I won't talk about what do we get out of life, however I may pick this topic later in the future. Today I would like to make you aware of how much approximately do we have out of our life. But first let's get something clear. This video is not and will never be 100% accurate. Life is just so crazy. It has so much of variety and things that we can do nothing about. But it's just a bigger picture on how much do we approximately have at our disposal. It all will be based on a hypothetical life of a human. And what are the rules of our hypothetical human life? 1 week has 7 days. 4 weeks have 28 days. To make it all easier, for me, to be honest, all months will have 30 days length. And the 2 missing days will be counted by average of 28 days as shown on the screen. So with that out of our way, I have decided I will start with finding out at what age do people start to have first memories and are fully aware of their existence. I really didn't expect that children can have memories even back from a mother's womb, but that's not what I'm looking for today. I have also found out that in age of 7 to 12, arbitrary memory is connected with personality development and its intellectual level and all that blah blah. Don't get me wrong, it's all very interesting as well, but it's still not what I was looking for. I'm looking for the moment when you start entering life on your own as a person. So I have decided the time you start to have more awareness about world and yourself is puberty. Girls start puberty at the age of 9 to 10 and boys at the age of 11 to 12. To make it simpler, let's say we start our theoretical life at the age of 10. Now let's say that to the age of 19 you're in school. So for 9 years our reality will be school. And why 19? Statistic data shows that average when most teens move out and start to live by themselves. So that's why 19. And now I had to make a tough decision. Studies or work. And due to the amount of countries, cultures and different political situations around the world, I have chosen work. It was just too complex. So you have just finished school, found a job and started living on your own. What now? Mostly you're going to work, going on holidays, meeting with friends, maybe even find love. I don't really know what you're going to do in between the time. So yeah, maybe if you found love, it's time to start a family. Yeah, and web is full of information. After a lot of digging, it seems average time to start a family is about 21 up to 31 years old. 26 seems to be somewhere in the middle, so we will go along with that. Now you are 28. You have two kids, wife or a husband, and job. What now? Now we wait for retirement. What can go wrong? Like, I don't know, maybe a car accident, accident in work, stroke, heart attack, infection, diabetes, cancer, pulmonary failure, and so on and so forth. A lot of cool other stuff. But yeah, let's say you're very healthy and none of that is your concern. From data all around the world, average time to go on a retirement is 60 up to 67 years old, and they want to raise it even more. But yeah, let's assume 63 years old will be the time when you go on your retirement, just to make you feel better. Okay, now you're 63. Retirement time. Yeah, but there's an issue. You're old. Health is not as good as it used to be, and nonetheless, there is not much time left for you on this world. Like I have said before, average lifespan is 72 years. Strictly statistically speaking, of course. Some people live 7 years and some live 100, but let's not go that way today either. But let's have it your way. You peacefully live next 9 years and you go on the other side in peace. Now it's the time for the specifics. Numbers. Ain't that a thing that defines our world? It's all around us, everywhere you look. There are equations like everywhere. Just like in this hypothetical life you are going to experience with me. But now let's go back in time a bit. So yeah, we went back in time and now you're 10 years old. You wake up at 7 a.m. At 8 a.m. you're already at school, and average school time around the world is 6 hours. So at 2 p.m. you finish school and at 3 p.m. you're back home. Let's assume you spend only 2 hours a day for homework and learning. So at 5 p.m. you're done with school until next day. Lunch took you about half an hour and now it's 5:30 p.m. That's not so bad, to be honest. 10 p.m. you go to sleep. Dinner and personal hygiene takes you about 1 hour before bedtime. After excluding all these activities, you have 3.5 hours a day of free time just for you. And we're only counting time that's strictly yours, like when you don't have to do a single thing and you can do whatever you like. Now it's Saturday and Sunday, and these days are off school, so plus 9 hours on weekends, and that's really good. Nice, yeah. Days of school offer you 12.5 hours a day. So looking at the whole week, you have 42.5 hours of time just for you. Is it a lot? I can't really tell. Maybe you will tell when I will tell you how much hours does the whole weekend has. Week, not weekend. How much the whole week has. So 1 week is 168 hours. Yeah, now it's less impressive. Really, and that's only 1 week. From 1 month you have average of 182 hours out of 720 hours a month. During the year it's 8,640 hours. You have 2,184 hours for you. Now let's add holidays to this. It was really hard for me to find average, but I have decided 2 months will do just fine. So now let's exclude holidays from school year. Yeah, and now you have 2,570 hours along the year, which is 386 hours more. Yeah, so that's good for you. To make more sense out of it all, I will convert it into days. Our hypothetical year is 360 days. You ready? Okay. it struck me really hard. Out of 360 days, 107 are yours. Yeah. So in period of time of 10 to 19, there is 760 hours, and it's 3040 days, which you only have 965 of them. Yeah, I think to some of you, just like me, it was shocking. I really wasn't expecting that. Like, I really didn't know what to expect when I was even doing it. Like, and that was the most interesting part while doing it. Just counting it all and not really knowing what the answer will be. It's something. I can't really tell if it's a lot or is it little. It's nonetheless 965 out of 3,240 days, and to some it may be little, to some it may be a lot, but yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, but now it's time to move on. Now you're 19 years old. You have moved out, school is over, and now you're looking for work. And now that's a discrepancy. Average work time around the world starts at 35 hours, up to whopping number of 112 hours a week. And yet, like, the whole week is 168 hours, and some people work 112 out of them. It's crazy. Okay, but once again, let's choose something in between. And I think 60 hours seems fine. It's like 10 hours a day and Sunday is off. Now let's start calculating. Some things didn't change. You still wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m. you're already at work. You finish work at 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. you're home. You have to eat something, so it's now 7 p.m. Only thing left before going to bed is personal hygiene. So it seems you have 4.5 hours on working days. More when you were learning. Not really, because you only have Sunday off and paid vacations are shorter. So Sunday is 15.5 hours more. And so along the whole week, you have 38 out of 168 hours. 163 out of 720 of the whole month. But you live on your own now, so you have to take care of things like bills, chores, going to banks, to the post office, home shopping, and all the cool, boring stuff. In last chapter, I didn't count things like cleaning, so let's assume it takes you about 1 hour a day. Home shopping once a week, like half hour, and 6 hours a month on financial management and administrative matters. So 38 hours total. Now let's add paid days off. I had to make average on my own. I did a lot of work. Out of 189 countries, average is 17 days. Summarizing with new data, it's not 163 hours a month, but 125 out of 720. It's 1,500 out of 8,640 hours yearly. And by days, it's 62 days out of 360. With paid days off, it's 79 days. So on a time frame of 19 to 26 years old, the moment when you start a family, like we have said before, You have a very big number. 553 days out of 2520. Okay, okay. Now you're 26 and you start family. How many children does average family have? Average number around the world is 2.5 child per family, but who would like to have a half a child? So number two is our way to go. From now on, things get a little tricky. Let's assume at age of 26 you have first child, and then at the age of 27 you have second one. How time consuming can a child be? And oh my gosh, extremely. It was really hard for me to find some average, or even, I know it may sound harsh, but like time conception of a newborn child. But after spending little while on reading, I think it's really safe to say first year is completely taken away from you independently. If you are a man or woman, let's assume you either take care of child the whole day, and or you get back from work and take care of it. So why one after another? um, I think we want to have it out of our way as soon as possible, mathematically speaking, of course. Alright, so you have two children and 2 years are taken away from you, and yeah, sorry, no time for you this time. Now you're 28. Now it's a bit easier, but still not the best. Now both of you go to work each day because you have employed a babysitter. When you get back home, you both take care of children and house. Before you had something about 2 hours a day of free time. But children need care, love, education, and activities of all sorts. There is a lot to be taken care of, but you split chores with your partner so you both can have a bit of free time. Let's say once 2 weeks you take babysitter to stay longer with children, so both of you can go out on a date or meet with friends. I don't know, do what you want. Now let's make words numbers. 1 hour a day between Monday and Thursday when you both take care of everything, and 3 hours daily on Friday and Saturday when your parent takes over chores. Yeah, you spend Sunday together with your family, but we can count this time as free time as well, I think. This lifestyle will sustain to the moment when children no longer acquire so much time and are more independent. Now you're 34 years old, and now children no longer need babysitter because they both go to school now. And okay, well, I know now it's a little bit jumpy, like 28, 34. Yeah, and now you're 43 and your youngest child is 16. Let's say to age of 16 you really put a lot of effort to your children education, and from that point they start to be independent as if it comes to education. So to age of 19 of the youngest child, we can assume you only spend 1 hour a day with children. Sundays do not change. At age of 26 to 28 you have no time at all due to children. Between age of 28 to 43 you have 109 out of 720 hours monthly, and that's 54 days out of 360. Let's add paid days off, and now we have 71 days out of 360. So in period of 15 years you have 1065 days out of 5400. In age of 43 to 46, you have more time because children are more independent. So monthly you have 126 out of 720 hours. That's 63 days out of 360. Let's now add up paid days off and 80 days out of 360. So in period of 3 years, you have 240 days out of 1080. So between age of 26 to 46, you have 1305 days out of 7200. Okay. Now you are 46. Both of your children have moved out. So once again you have as much time as when you were in age of 19 to 26. That's great, but yeah, damn man. Health issues. You go to see doctor more often, you have less energy and a lot of other stuff that we don't really want to talk about today. It's all hypothetical. Let's say you're healthy and all that stuff, but sometimes you have to go to check out and all that stuff. Besides that, you have more free time. There's not much left to your retirement. Between age of 46 to 63, you have 79 days out of 360. In period of 17 years, you have 1,343 days out of 6,120. Yeah, now it's time for retirement. I just couldn't wait any longer. Yeah, it's great. You have a lot of time and everything, but there's a big issue. You're pretty damn old. And that's a shame, but hey, you're going to enjoy your life and you wait for the day to come. Hopefully you have died in peace and smile on your face because you had a good life. Between age of 63 to 72, you had great life. Now let's start counting. Only things you had to do were sleep, eat, cleaning and take care of financial management and administrative matters. You have 337 hours out of 720 hours. 4,044 hours out of 8,640 hours. In period of 9 years, you have 36,396 hours out of 77,760 hours. And that's 1,516 days out of 3,240 days. Now, let's conclude this hypothetical life. You know what? I'm looking at this data. I'm going to be really honest with you. It got me pretty hard. Like, yeah, really, it got me damn hard. I had to sit down a bit and I got sad. And I have realized that we may even have less than that, because I didn't include a lot of stuff. Like, these are like the perfect conditions of everything, when everything goes how it should supposed to be, like when you're in perfect health, you have no bigger issues in your life. Yes, life can be disappointing, very tough and gray in shades, but it can be really colorful as well. We have to believe it can be. If we are gifted with time, let's use it as much as we can. Because at the end of the day, there's no point to think about how little we've got, but to think what to do with it. Really, just love, passion, family, it's all there, and all other stuff that you found important to you in your life. You just have to try to reach it and be patient, being aware you're taking so much from so little that has been given to you. I really would like to encourage you to try living the best life you can. Love, live, and pursue your desires, because no one is gonna make your life better for you if it's not you.